Crush your fitness goals. 5 simple steps. So if you're working out or driving, consider just listening in. I'm going to share with you the best things I can, the most direct way on how to crush your fitness goals in 5 simple steps. If you do have access to pen and paper, consider grabbing it because I'm going to ask you to write down some things that I feel could be really important. I want you to consider internalizing and really getting it right here in your soul. That's the goal. Crush your fitness goals. 5 simple steps. The first thing to consider, I feel, is the most important thing to get started with, is to have a clear, specific goal. So if you could wave a realistic magic wand and you can have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you wanted over the next year, what would that be like for you? Think about it. Get crazy with it. Imagine that you're trying to build a blueprint for a house, and you're going to create every little detail like you would create that detail in the blueprint of a house. Create that for your body. Have everything exactly how you would want it. Visualize it. Think about it. Spend a little time on it. Get really clear. I feel like it's very important for you to know exactly what it is that you want to achieve for you to be able to go forward and get it. A lot of times I feel it's hard to hit a target that we're not sure of what the target is. So with your health and fitness, consider just narrowing it down to the basics even of a body weight and a body fat percent, right? So if you could wave that realistic magic wand and you could have your body weight and your body fat percent any kind of way you wanted it to be, what would that be like for you? Think about that, right? So now once you have that, then now if you do have access to that pen and paper, that's what I want you to write down, a specific body weight and a body fat percent. Now I'm going to touch on a powerful affirmation that you can do. I'm going to go over it now, and I'm going to go over it at the end. But you wrote down your body weight and your body fat percent, or you're just listening and taking it in, and you have a body weight and body fat percent. Consider setting up an affirmation / prayer. And here it goes. I am happy and grateful now that I am your body weight and your body fat goal, right? So that's a very powerful affirmation. I've used it myself over my fitness career, and I know a lot of other people that's done it. So just something to consider. It may or may not be for you, and either way is okay. But you take your goal, your body weight goal, and your body fat percent goal. You set it up as an affirmation / prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then you state your goal, right? So that's very powerful. So internalize that, memorize it, consider just locking it in every day. When I drive to the studio tomorrow, I'm saying it to myself, I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then I state my goals, right? And I want you to consider doing it too. It's a very powerful tool. It is a mental tool. It's one of the 5 steps. So the 5 steps are exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Those are the 5. So if you're taking notes, what we've gone over so far is have a very clear, specific goal, right? So specifically a body weight and a body fat percent goal. Wrap it up with your affirmation / prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am your body weight, your body fat percent goal, right? The general 5 simple steps are exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Let's just look at training for a moment. Imagine for a moment you have a twin engine airplane, and on one engine, let's call that cardiovascular, and on the other engine, let's call that strength training, right? Now, if you're flying along, having both engines going, optimized, that's the best case scenario, right? Now, imagine if you only have one engine going on the airplane. You're just doing cardio, for example. Well, you're not going to get the most out of that plane. It'll be really unstable, right? Even. So I encourage you to have a blend of cardiovascular exercise and strength training exercise. Consider having a blend of that, right? Now, what are some of the options? Well, you can do a 3-day-a-week program, a 4-day-a-week program, a 5-day-a-week program. I've seen some people do more than that. There's debates on if you should do more or not on that. I've seen it either way. Everybody's different. Consider creating your own program. I am putting together some free programs. If you're interested, it's not available yet, but coming soon. Right here, you'll be able to go to the Google Play Store or your Android store and download the Weight Loss Solutions That Work app. You'll have access to free routines. You can play around with it. I'll let you know when it's officially on the market. It will be a free download. Mm-hmm. So that's training, right? So have a combination of strength training and cardiovascular training, a combination. Now, how do you make up a good training program? I feel there are basically 5 fundamental principles to building a quality strength training program: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Let's look at proper form. Why would proper form be so important? Let's think about it. 2 big reasons. One is so that you exercise the muscle effectively, you're getting the most out of it. And then also so that we don't get hurt, so that you don't get hurt. And that's what I hope for you. I'm sure you're plenty busy. If you do the exercises correctly, when you exercise, you do the proper form, you're going to get the most out of it. And also, you're unlikely to get an injury. So those 2 big reasons. So that's proper form. Number 2 is variety. Why would it be important to change it up occasionally? Why not just do the same workout over and over again? Why would we change it occasionally? Right? Chats. Missing the chats. Comments. Oh, here we go. So if you have a comment or a question, please let me know. So we talked about proper form, variety. Now let's look at variety. Why would you want to change it up occasionally? Why not just do the same workout over and over again? Well, there's two big reasons to consider. One is our bodies get adapted to it. Have you ever heard of a plateau? Right? A plateau is where you get to a certain point and you get stuck. And that's not any fun. I've been there. And it often, I found, happens when people, when they start working out and you get comfortable with doing the certain exercises and rep ranges, and you just don't change it. That's real common. So how do you avoid it? Plateaus, you change it, right? How do we change it? Several ways. You can mix the body parts in your weekly routine differently together. You can do higher reps or lower reps. You can use different training principles like supersets and compound sets and drop sets and things like that. You can change the tempo, the speed of the move up and down. You can do like a 3 seconds down, 1 second pause, 2 seconds up, or a 5 seconds down, 1 second pause, explosive up. A lot of different ways to add variety. So we talked about proper form, then variety. Number 3 is intensity. What comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? What comes to mind? Challenging yourself, right? Pushing yourself, right? So imagine that we're doing a chest press and we're going for 12 repetitions. We did 8, 9, 10. It's getting tough. 11, 12. We barely get that 12th one, but we get it. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? Well, be the last few, right? And why would the last few be the best ones? That's where the overload occurs, right? That's where the challenge occurs, and you're pushing yourself, right? That's the intensity. Now that intensity, that's what assists the muscle to eventually get stronger. When you work out in the gym and you're pushing it hard like that, you're stressing your muscles. It's through the rest and recovery and the food that the muscles grow back stronger. But that intensity is what challenges it. And that's what's going to cause the muscle to grow back stronger. So we talked about proper form, variety, intensity. Now let's look at proper training principles. There's many different training principles. I named some earlier, like drop sets, superset, compound sets, rest pause training. What are those? Well, a superset is when you do like opposing muscle groups back to back, like chest press to a lat pull down or a pull up, a bicep curl to a dip or a push down, right? Opposing muscle groups. A compound set is working two different exercises for the same muscle. Okay, chest press, the chest fly, right? It's all kind of training principles. I encourage you to have fun with it. Look it up. Go online. Do a Google search. Look up weight training principles. Right? You come up with all kind of good stuff. Have fun with it. So we talked about proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and last but not least is consistency. Now, what comes to mind when you think about the power of consistency and why it's important to be consistent with your program? What comes to mind? Well, think about it. Well, imagine for a moment, say if we have you and say if we have a twin of you. And say you start off, you're going to work out 4 days a week. You're going to do cardio and strength. You're eating at least 80 or 90% correctly. You're getting your rest. Your twin starts off that way, but then misses a workout here and there, and sometimes skips a quality meal and has junk sometimes. And then some nights doesn't get all his or her sleep. At the end of the year, who is going to have the best results? Would be the consistent one, right? The consistent person. The power of consistency. Now, I was just talking to a friend the other day about this. There's regrets. I had a mentor one time, he would say that regret weighs tons and discipline weighs ounces. But it's better said the other way around. So discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. The discipline of being consistent with your workouts and your nutrition and your sleep, the power of being disciplined over time, over weeks, months, years, decades, the consistency. That discipline really weighs ounces compared to the regret of poor health, heart disease, high blood pressure, impotence, feeling awful. That regret is going to weigh tons. So I encourage you to embrace the disciplines of fitness. And when building out your fitness program, to make sure you're doing proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Now, let's look at nutrition. Imagine for a moment that we want to build a beautiful 2-story home from scratch. And imagine that we only have half the materials necessary to build the house. How far are we going to get? Part of the way, right? The foods that you and I eat on a daily basis, are like the supplies that goes towards building our bodies. So the things that you and I eat on a daily basis, the foods that we eat, are the supplies that builds the body that we want. So consider looking over your past 10 years of all the foods that you ate, and then consider looking at yourself, doing an assessment. And that's a accumulation of our lifestyle habits. And if you want the next 10 years to be different, consider eating differently, doing something healthier. And what do I recommend? Now, everybody's different. You do what's right for you, but what I would encourage to consider is a whole food plant-based diet where 50% of your foods come from fruits and vegetables, 25% come from whole grains, and 25% come from plant-based proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, seeds, delicious protein powders. I have a strawberry protein powder, plant-based. I have a chocolate peanut butter. Boy, they're just delicious. And there's all kind of delicious ways to eat. I encourage you to consider that. And then if you want to do a little more research, if you're feeling, as my 6th grade teacher would say, if you're feeling like an eager beaver, consider watching The Game Changers on Netflix. It's also on YouTube. If you don't have Netflix, it's a free version on there somewhere. The Game Changers. It's a very powerful documentary. It talks about why I'm recommending these types of foods. It really breaks down the science part of it. So I encourage you to watch it. It could assist to change your mindset around eating and assist you to eat better. Because that is a lot of it. Is what a lot of people aren't doing. What I'm seeing is you're just not eating healthy. So consider embracing that and doing a little more research. If you have any questions on it, let me know. My goal is to come out here with you live every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? So we just talked about training, nutrition, but I want to dig a little bit deeper into nutrition. I feel there are basically 4 basic ways that food affects how we burn fat. One is metabolism, energy levels, blood sugar levels, and insulin levels. Now, imagine for a moment that we have a fireplace and we want to build a very nice fire in the fireplace. Now, in one hand, we have a stack of oak wood, right? And on the other hand, we have a stack of paper, right? Now, not including, kindling and getting the fire started, but if you had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, most of us would choose the oak wood, and why? Because it's going to burn longer, slower, more efficiently, right? So imagine in this case how the oak wood is going to burn longer, slower, more efficient. Paper is going to burn faster, less efficient. So some foods burn more like the oak wood, and some foods burn more like the paper. So just like I said, the whole food, natural foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds, and stuff like that, they have a lot of fiber in them, and they really assist us to control insulin and blood sugar, which is going to really assist you to burn fat and build muscle while you're exercising. So consider that. So we talked about nutrition. We talked about training, nutrition. Now let's look at recovery. Over the last several years, I've had the honor of training 3 different neurologists, and I've done additional research on top of that, and I've summarized basically, and I know everybody's a little bit different, but on average, 7.5 to 9 hours sleep a night is recommended, with 2 hours of REM and 2 hours of deep. Now, if you're using a wearable and you're working on that, please let me know. I'm curious. I don't use any wearables at this moment, but I am exploring options and probably will at some point. But I do my best. I personally program 9 hours into the bed, not all the time, but at least 8.5 to 9. And and I'm going for the 2 hours deep, 2 hours REM every night. And I'm probably 90% plus there, probably some nights 80% plus, but working on being 100% every night. That's what I would love to get to. That's my goal. But anyway, that's sleep. The whole idea of it is that a lot of these health professionals are saying that sleep is the number one thing almost all of us can do that will make the biggest impact with our health. So consider that. Look at your sleep over the last 10 years, forward 10 years, and see if you can't create a better sleep environment for you. What does that mean? Well, one thing is you can not eat 2 hours before bedtime. That'll help. You can cut off or cut down on all the blue light, like TV and TVs, phones, computers. 1 to 2 hours. Now I'm hearing 2. I was hearing 2 hours before bedtime. Getting the room as dark as possible, or wearing eye mask, keeping the room cool. These are some things that can help. So we talked about training, nutrition, recovery. Let's look at supplementation. I feel there are basically 2 different categories of supplements: nutritional supplements and enhancement performance supplements. So nutritional supplements are like my delicious shakes I was talking about earlier. I have a strawberry plant-based, a chocolate peanut butter plant-based, and they are delicious. And then I also have enhancement performance supplements. One that I recommend is creatine, and I recommend that for anyone looking to build muscle. It's a safe, proven strength enhance. If you're looking to improve your strength and muscle, it can be a good one to consider. All right. But that's the difference. Just the difference is that there are nutritional supplements and there are enhancement performance supplements. Right. So now, just to summarize, we talked about training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation. Now let's wrap it up with mindset. That's the 5 simple steps. So exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, mindset. If you're taking notes, consider writing those down. Now, with mindset, imagine for a moment that we're trying to build a beautiful resort building, a big old building, and we have one of those cranes out in front. And the crane, really big crane that's got the box with the person in it at the bottom. The crane, the person, the box controlling the crane, that's like our mindset. And the person controls the crane. The crane does not control the person. So your body does not control your mind. Your mind controls your body. So when it comes, for example, when it comes to tomorrow morning is Monday morning, if you're watching this today, and a lot of people don't like Monday mornings. I love Monday mornings. So when it comes time to do my cardio tomorrow morning, I'm just going to knock it out, get it done, and feel good about it. There's no question as, oh, I'm not going to do it today. I don't feel like it. It's fit. People don't think like that. If you're going to commit to doing something, if you're going to do cardio before work, follow through with it and just do it. Your mindset is what gets you started. How can you set yourself up for success? The night before, have your exercise clothes laid out. The night before, have your food laid out. Right? Make sure you don't eat 2 hours before bedtime. Wake up in time enough to do your cardio. Give yourself extra time. Go to bed a little earlier. Prioritize. See, these are the things you can do, but it takes your mindset to think about it. I love the phrase, seek and ye shall find. If you want to figure out how to do something like fitness, like crushing your fitness goals, consider going at it with a child's-like enthusiasm, being fascinated with all things fitness, with the exercises, with routines, and with learning form, and consider enjoying the process. Become fascinated with it. And remember one more thing. As you're going along on your fitness journey, it's kind of like, have you been in the ocean before? And you know how the ocean has the kind of the rip tide that kind of takes you down the ocean. You know, if you're one place for a minute, and the next thing you know, you've kind of moved along, and it pulls you, right? Imagine that you're on your fitness journey, you're swimming against the tide. You're going against the current. You're swimming against the current, but you're exercising regularly. You're eating regularly healthy. You're getting your rest. You're supplementing intelligently. You're daily saying your goals. I am happy and grateful now that I am your body weight and body fat percent. And you're doing this daily, weekly, month on, month off, year on, year off, decades. You're gonna cut through that resistance. That's how you cut through. We all feel that challenge, but you just follow through. You take action. Just feel it, but you do it anyway. If it's discomforting at first, you just feel that discomfort, but you just do it. You begin. You don't have to be perfect at the start. You don't have to be perfect at the start, but just follow through and finish. So with that, I'll let you go. Remember that health is wealth. I'm going to be here with you every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.